I eventually looked through the window and I saw him cuffing her in the stomach and slapping her in the face, holding on to her hair and dragging her in the road. Only if I knew the Lord then, only if. In this video I'm going to be speaking on 3 points that you must know as a survivor of domestic violence. Stay tuned. I was about 11 or 12 years old, just finished school for that particular day, and went by a friend to hang out. I started to hear some noise in the yard, so I went, as most persons would, went by the window and peeked what was happening outside. I saw 2 adults quarreling. Small man like me, I don't want to get involved in big people's business. In any event, I was observing what was happening. I saw the guy started to hit the lady, cuff her in the stomach, slap her in the face, pull her hair, dragging her into the road. I asked my friend what's happening, if this is something normal, and he said yes, they were in a relationship and this is a usual act. Did this woman know about domestic violence and a protection order? What would have prevented her from actually doing that? In this video, I'm not going to be speaking about what domestic violence is or the type of domestic violence. I did that in my other video, just check it out, I'll leave it in the card there. In this video, I want to speak about a protection order. What is a protection order? A protection order could be defined as a court's ruling which restrains a person from engaging in acts of domestic violence. Check out the video, you'll see what the types of domestic violence are. With that being said, a protection order would be a document that is given to a survivor of domestic violence, which would indicate or more so state clearly what the abuser is prohibited from doing, or it might direct a person to actually do something. For example, the protection order would prevent a person from using threatening language or actions against the survivor of domestic violence. It might even prevent the person from communicating with the survivor, prevent the person from damaging property, and so on. It may even direct the person now to return property that was taken from the survivor. It might even direct the person to compensate for any kind of damages that were done. Also, there's the need or the option of having the abuser vacate the premises and even provide reasonable care for the victim or the survivor of domestic violence, paying the mortgages, paying rent, providing care in other ways as well. And you know, most times citizens of domestic violence, they may have some children involved or some child involved, and they may be concerned about that. The court allows for that through a protection order as well. So a protection order really is a mechanism or a document which guides the actions of abuser in interacting with the victim of domestic violence. Let's move on to my next point. In applying for a protection order, we need to look at what the law says in the Caribbean regarding that. In the Caribbean islands, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, St. Kitts Nevis, all of the islands, in the Domestic Violence Act, it identifies who could apply for a protection order. It would include persons who are abused in a domestic relationship. So for example, spouses, a person in common law relationship, children, persons in residential institutions who are also being abused, persons in a visiting relationship. Check out that video right above there. That video explains who could apply or the type of persons who are in domestic relationships. Once that person is abused, that person has the option of going to the magistrate court, which is a less complicated court as compared to the high court, and the legislation in the Caribbean makes it very simple for survivors of domestic violence to go to the court, speak to the registrar or the GP, as some persons refer to them as, and then that GP is going to make arrangements to have the matter heard immediately if it's one that is of urgency and of significance importance, or it's one where it's life-threatening. I've had matters like that where persons go to the court and the matter is heard immediately and it's sent to the magistrate court. Once that is the case, you go before the court hears the evidence, and you could get what is called an interim protection order, an interim order, for a period of 21 days or less. During that period, the other side has to be served or should be served so that the respondent, the abuser, would come before the court and give their side of the story. As you know, the court and the legal system is one that is fair. It hears the both sides and then makes a decision accordingly. During the hearing, you would normally have to present your evidence. medical, police report, text messages, witness evidence, or as the case would be. All of that is heard before the magistrate, and the magistrate will determine if a protection order should be granted for a period of time or no protection order at all. That's at the discretion of the magistrate. I know that there may be persons out there who might say that the protection order is only a paper, but there's a significance there because there's an option that is available for the victim to get the assistance of officers whenever the person is being abused. Now, there's some changes and variations in all of the Caribbean islands, and I'm sure that there are colleagues out there, whether you be in Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, whichever country, there are colleagues who are willing, my colleagues, lawyers, who are willing to explain the law further to you and explain the process of applying for a protection order. So if you know a lawyer in your jurisdiction and once you're a victim, go. Seek help, speak to an attorney, would be willing to assist. Any attorney in whatever jurisdiction, seek help. Let's move on to my next point. There are some persons who would describe the account that I saw when I was a child as tough love. I may not want to get involved in same. Maybe when I was younger, all fair and well, but now, being a lawyer, I have a responsibility to make it clear that domestic violence is wrong. And if you're a victim of domestic violence, seek help. If you're an abuser, seek help. And this is what the court system is there for. Let me make this clear. There's this view that persons have regarding lawyers and the legal system trying to destroy relationships or mash up marriages and various connections with people. But that's not the case at all. As an attorney, a member of the legal bar, we try our best to see how we could foster and develop relationships. Why? Because families are important. We know the importance of it. And the court now provides, whenever a protection order is given, the court provides for counseling or therapy for the person who is the abuser, all in the intention and the aim to see how this relationship could be preserved. So if it is that this relationship could be saved at the end of it all, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Once it's saved, it's possible for a party to come before the court once again and make an application for variation or discharge. And as an attorney who practices in this area, as other areas, it's a joy and there's a sense of fulfillment whenever I have to go before the court and ask for a discharge. Why? Because persons are able to resolve their dispute. And for me, I try to describe this protection order to my clients not as a protection order per se, but as a peace order. A peace order where they are able to have internal peace and also to see how we could have some system in place to maintain peace within the household. That's what a protection order is. So leave in the comment, do you think we probably should change the name from a protection order to a peace order? You go before the court for a peace order. Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. Guys, thank you so much for remaining with me until the end of this video. That's the end of it. I have some other videos coming up. What you could do is check my other videos. There was the one on domestic violence and there's some other useful points. Before I go, I just want to say hello to some people. Christy from the USA, who also does videos. She's a lawyer. The law in the USA is quite different from the Caribbean. But I'll leave a link there. You could look at some of the principles that she identified, some useful points. There's Luke from from Germany. Hi Luke, thank you so much for your comments. And then people from Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean. Hello, I want to big up Shelly. Thank you so much for your comments. I want to talk to Curtis. Hi Curtis, thank you for your commenting as well. Very often comments. Colin as well. Kellyanne, you also, thank you so much. Just make sure that you leave a comment, you guys, down in the section below there. And subscribe if you haven't already. And share this video. Share this video with others who may need it. Spread the news. The more we know, the better we are to make decisions. This channel, The Legal Journey, it's about that. Educating and empowering persons about the law so that we can make better decisions. You guys take care. I'll see you in my next video.